And this was probably my moment of obligation when we had that commitment to say surfboards are going to be used as educational goods. Wow, surfing as a PE class, this is fantastic. Went back and forth about 6 months, we got the boards in, we had buyers lined up, buyers were lined up for the boards, and so that really put some pressure on there. And I said to myself, not on my watch am I going to let 400 surfboards slip underneath the radar and not come in. So we were able to get the boards in, and then we wanted to think about the sustainability of what we were doing. It's one thing to just have a bunch of surfboards, but for us, Waves for Development was more than just surfboards. It was more of a tool that we wanted to use. And so we were saying, well, Waves for Development, it's donated surfboards plus some kind of additional learning. Well, that's what equals Waves for Development. And so these are some of the different kind of outlines that I came up with that I expressed in my research, but it's inventory the resources. Where are we going and what do they have? Who are the people that we can get involved with this? What do they want about surfing? Or what do they want in terms of solar? What do they want in terms of clean water? But it's also knowing the reality. And that's not something that we can figure out in a one-time visit. And I think that's one of the beauties of the Engineers Without Borders. A lot of times it's multi-year commitments. It's 4 or 5 years that the projects have been going on for. Pilot projects are key. And so for us, okay, well, let's see if this works. Before we go really far into it and get hundreds of boards in one place, let's do a pilot program. And so we did a 2-week project in February of 2008, and it was a big success in terms of the participation, the local government. We threw a barbecue, invited the whole community there, bringing everyone together. And I think that was a really powerful point. It's also building a network, and it's not trying to do it on our own. And it's not just saying, okay, well, here you go, community, figure it out. But it's also to build a network of other people that share some of that vision, and then monitoring and evaluate. And I would say that's something that we continue to do to this day, is look at how can we become, or further be, a learning organization, learn from what's happening. This, I think, is a real important piece that is of utmost importance to any community development project, is the participation. And I can talk a little bit about our informal surveys and informal talks, but it also comes down to taking a concerted and a real focused effort to find out what it is that the community members want, that the beneficiaries of the different projects, what do they want? And so we spoke to the municipal government, and this is an interesting point in terms of the political acceptability of any kind of program. And the mayor said, yes, we're all about anything for the development of the community, we're all about it. And then we realized after a while that it was more just his willingness to talk about their participation than their actual, okay, you can use our space, you can use our vehicles, you can do that. So it was a finding a balance between, okay, well, let's put into action what some of these commitments have been. The school director, this is what really, I think, spoke to us the most, was having a conversation, a real frank conversation about the level of education in the school, and what did they see as some of their biggest needs, as well as what could we do as volunteers to address those. And English classes was one, going from a read a paragraph in English, read a paragraph in Spanish, and then that's the English class. And so the pedagogy of learning wasn't quite there for the English programs, whereas we were taking an approach, okay, well, to learn a language, you have to speak it, you have to write it, you have to listen. And so to take some of those concepts in terms of what we were able to provide as volunteers in terms of conversations. Well, we might not all be English teachers, but we can all speak English. We use that conversation sector. And then some of the other folks at Global Surf Industry as well, EWB, the Peruvian Sports Institute, and the Surfing Federation. Every calling is great when greatly pursued. And so here's where, looking at the sustainability and looking at even getting the program going, we had the global support of outsiders coming in, and I like to call those external activators. This is from the Village Earth model. And combine that with the internal activators. But it is pretty full on, and it is looking at what kind of programs can we start and be part of it that'll keep going after we're gone. And that's where, for us, we always want to look back to our mission. And it's really creating those life-enriching experiences on two sides. And that's one really being the education programs that we feel that we're developing youth into healthy and empowered adults, but combining that with surf volunteerism programs. And again, it's looking at that transformation, that engagement of volunteers, and how they view the world and themselves. We wanted to address a particular issue, and that's kind of disrupt the traditional surf model, surf tourism model, whereas a surfer will get on a plane and go surfing, maybe have a couple margaritas, surf some more drinks, beer, whatever, and then get on a plane and go home. And this happens, and there may be a time and place for that, but we also realize that surfers a lot of times want to give back. We're a good tribe. We want to give back to where we go visit, but there's just not that infrastructure for doing so. Here we see Surfing Magazine. This is Mexico, focusing on the wave that's in front, that's one of the resources there, but not paying any attention to the community that's behind, the folks that live there year-round. And so we wanted to look at some of these conditions, the crowded schools or unavailable resources, limited economic development, just the health situations. And so going back to what we had this stoke in June of 2007 when the boards arrived, the pilot program of offering some English classes, environmental conservation classes, bringing in experts in the field, Peruvian organizations for the environmental conservation programs. And then it was in November where we started the ongoing efforts. And some of the results that we've seen here are 3 nonprofits are formed in Peru, Switzerland, and the US, all with a shared vision of using surfing to do good. We've had over 200 youth served in the local community, 289 volunteers, not including the volunteers in October of this year. And these are the programs that we're offering. The English classes that are, I think it's about 18 hours a week in the schools. Swim and surf classes, environmental education classes, also in the schools. The first time that environmental education has been implemented in the schools. Social entrepreneurship. And this is I would say, the economic development side, kind of a funnel as the kids become more involved. Their involvement leads down to looking at ways to create more economic activity in their communities through surfboard repair, through surf instruction, through surf photography, through surfing itself. This is Karen, and she just turned 15 at her quinceañera, and she's been able to compete in contests that have come to her town through her experience surfing with the organization. And so this has been an opportunity for her to build confidence and to experience life through the lens of a surfer. And we don't know where this is going to go. We don't say, oh, we want every participant to become a professional surfer, but we do want to say, what are your dreams? What kind of career goals are you setting out to do, and how can we help you get there? Again, looking back at the community consultations and to say, how have we helped life in the Lobitos community? And we've had 63% that says Waves as an organization is going house to house, going and asking the families there. 63% Waves has helped, generally helped life in Lobitos a lot or quite a lot. 31% said not much, and then 6% said no. Again, we were looking at how can we deliver projects that are meaningful to the community, that the community is driving. We can do that by listening to what they say, and the areas of improvement as identified by the local population for their town. 52% say education, so say, okay, well, we're hitting that one. We've got education programs going on, in-school, out-of-school programs. Healthcare, 25% mentioned healthcare. We just had a group of students from medical school to go and do a baseline community health survey to see what are they identifying as some of the areas of how we can help them develop an intervention. How can we work with them in connecting to some of the resources? job opportunities 15%, and tourism 8%. And I think that tourism is going to continue to increase as we start seeing some success stories. So going forward, I challenge individuals, be a part of your chapter, be a part of the projects. Engineers Without Borders is doing some amazing things, and it's a good place to be. Some of the things that we're doing, the Waves Corps, we're looking at in 2013 launching a small group visits to work on a specific project that's ongoing. Solar panels. This again, kind of back to the engineers, to engineering even, is that, well, you may not all be surfers, but us as surfers, or us as the community of people doing good, we all need engineering solutions. And solar energy is something that we've identified as a huge opportunity with over 300 days of sunshine in northern Peru. We're doing an earth bag construction starting in January. We're going to be going into phase 2 of that. So there's opportunities to get involved in. If you are interested in this, I don't want this to be commercial, but talk to me, look at our website, and we can talk about what could be done together, because I definitely do want to continue to look for ways to work more with Engineers Without Borders. So the take home is find your surf. It may not actually be surfing, but it's what makes you come alive, and how can that be used in conjunction with what you've already known and what your current experiences are, mixing that passion and purpose. So that's the prepared remarks I have now. I know that I'm the only thing standing between you and a break, so I'll leave it at that. Again, thank you, and I look forward to the other discussions we'll have with the rest of the conference.
So we do have a break right now. So just one more big round of applause for Kathy and Dave. Great break. So if you're interested in hearing more from either of them, Kathy is going to be giving a presentation this afternoon on crisis management. And Dave actually is going to be giving a presentation right after this on an NGO perspective. So you can find that in your agenda. So now we're just going to have a short break. Coffee is over there.